Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, to what's undoubtedly my magnum opus. It took a long time to set up for this video. I had to aggregate every single active NFL jersey. There may be a few that are missing, and if there are, feel free to tell me in the comments below. I'll ignore them, but you can tell me. I have included jerseys that are new this year, as well as the ones that were active in the past 2022-2023 season, so we should have a pretty solid list going through as far as what a team will wear. So I guess without further ado, let's begin. I'm a Steelers fan, I know it. I'm going to be a homer for some of these, I'll have to admit that. I'm actually not the biggest fan of their number font. I think that's kind of dumb. I love the block letter font as far as their throwback jerseys that they have, and I think it works really freaking good on their color rush jerseys as well. I like Kenny Pickett wearing these for the Immaculate Reception Memorial Game. Rest in peace, Franco Harris, love you. And their home jerseys are they're just okay. Actually, you know what? The black and gold looks so good. I'm willing to move that up into B. I'll admit that their white is a C. It's hard to make a white jersey look good, but I guess as far as the Steelers go, that's about as good as you can imagine. Dog water. Absolute dog shit jerseys. I have no idea why they would go through with this. Their old jerseys looked so much better. I love the shoulder design. I feel like it looked a lot more modern. I don't even know what is that supposed to be their color rush jersey? They wore these for 3 games last season, and for some reason, it has no shoulder design. It's the exact same that their color rush was in 2016, but there's no shoulder design, and I have no idea why. These are pretty bad. The only one that might be the redeeming factor is the white, but it's still not enough to remove them from the kill me. Cleveland, please go back to those early 2012, 2015 jerseys. Remove these from circulation, or at the very least, change your color rush back to what it originally was. I always joke that Cleveland's a team without an identity, but dear God. You know what? There, you have a tier of your own below kill me. It does appear as if I have at least 2 divisions lined up here, and that's completely by coincidence. But next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. First off, I think that their redesign in the Joe Burrow era is really good. I'm obviously a sucker for black jerseys, even if they're an in-division rival to my Steelers, but I really like the way they've went about modernizing the over-the-shoulder striping and claw design, or striping design for the Bengals. I think it looks really good on the orange as well. I'm willing to put that in B. I don't like their all-white version. The reason is they had this beautiful all-white jersey that I actually like so much, I'm going to put it in A tier. They had this beautiful jersey that they decided not to use when they went with their all-white uniforms. Went back to the Andy Dalton era of like coloring in the sleeve with the striping design. It looks bad. I don't know why they did it. Maybe they were trying to break up the white, but if you're going for like an all-white jersey, commit to it. You had a beautiful jersey. I think you ruined it with that. But overall, you know, B tier as an average, I think is pretty solid. The Baltimore Ravens. I like the Ravens colors. I think that they could do a lot with them. I think that they need to be modernized a bit. They look so stylized. They look like an AFL team almost. The black looks good, but not good enough to save it from the awful outline of the gold. I'll be willing to put it in C tier. The purple jersey, I am a fan of. I still don't like that font, but it's enough for me to put it in B. And these god-awful gold-colored uniforms, it's just so many layers and strokes of things. It kind of looks like a Brandon Perna thumbnail, where you have an outline and then an outline's outline, and then the stroke of an outline's outline. Bad. D tier. Next up, my Denver Broncos. So I've heard a lot of talking over the past year that the Denver Broncos are the only team that has paneled shoulders anymore. And I think it looks really good. Specifically, I think the white looks okay. It reminds me more of a Peyton Manning era jersey. They don't wear these whites as much as they used to, especially since they've brought back their throwback jersey, and they've really stuck to the orange crush look. I think the white, just for nostalgia's sake, it gets at least a C tier. It's not bad, but I also wouldn't call it good by any means. I absolutely love the dark blue and orange. I think it contrasts really well. Easy A tier. Finally, the all orange with the blue panel striping. Love it. Absolutely amazing. Almost S tier, but I'm going to put it in A tier for now. We'll see if it gets up there later. Throwback jerseys, they look so good, especially with the new uniform concepts that they're going to be rolling with this year. I have no complaints for this. Easy S tier. Now, this might be controversial, because I know they haven't changed them for many years. But The Kansas City Chiefs jerseys are mid. I know it sounds like heresy to say it, but I feel like it has to be said at some point. They have two jerseys. They have various different options as far as footwear and as far as that their socks and pants patterns are, but they need to come up with something a little better. Obviously, we've seen through color rush designs that maybe yellow or mustard isn't the best color to go as a mainstay on a jersey, but you gotta find something better to do than this. Even if you go with an all-white design with some yellow letters or numbers, something has to change here. The red is easily iconic enough for me to put it in C tier, simply because of the resurgence of Mahomes. It brings me some nostalgia, and I definitely think it brings it back into the modern era. However, this white looks like so many other jerseys, it's bad. I feel like it needs to change. I look at that and I immediately think of like the 49ers or the Giants over the Chiefs, and I think that says something for one of the most prominent teams in the NFL. You know, the reigning Super Bowl champion having such an unrecognizable and old-looking jersey. Speaking of old-looking jerseys, but I actually think these look significantly better, we have the Oakland Raiders. I'm a big fan of the Oakland Raiders jerseys, not the organization. I feel for Oakland and all the shit that they had to go through when losing their team, and now, well, losing the Athletics as well. But that leaves nothing to be said for their jerseys. They're black and silver. It's super easy, super well done, A tier, easy. White, it looks dynamic enough for the Raiders. Between B and C, I'm going to toss it in C tier right now. And their silver is easily one of the best looking jerseys that they have, as far as one of the best looking jerseys in the AFC West. A tier, easy. Oh boy, the the Los Angeles Chargers. They have such a wide variety of uniforms. It really seems like to me they just decided to throw things at the wall and see what sticks. There's nothing better in this world. Immediate S tier. The powder blue kits, amazing. Nothing else to say about it other than the fact that some of the best looking jerseys I've ever seen. The white is simple enough. It's still a white jersey. I can imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of white jerseys in the bottom. C tier at best, I'd say. These dark blue uniforms, I think, look really good. I just don't think it fits the aesthetic that they're going for. It leaves me conflicted because you look at the Bengals, and regardless of if they change up their shoulder design or the color pattern, it's basically the same uniform design with different color schemes and colorways. But this just seems like such a far departure from like the bright, flashy LA team that the Chargers are trying to be. I don't know where to put this dark uniform. I think the jersey looks good. I think that the helmet that they wear with it looks like absolute dog shit. I don't know what to make of it. I guess I'm going to put it in B because I like the way that it looks. I don't like the way that it suits the team. You know what? C. These deep blue for the Chargers as well. I haven't seen them wear these as much as I'd like. Obviously, they stick with the powder blue because that's what the fans like and they know what the fans like. So why not play into that? That's fair enough. I'm easily going to put these in probably a C tier. C tier is filling out pretty well. I mean, they're not the greatest. The powder blue really carries it. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings. Boy, do we have some interesting jerseys in here. Obviously, the color rush. I love their color rush. It stands out so well. It matches their color scheme and what they're going for. A tier, easy. No issue putting it in A tier whatsoever. I also like their current jerseys. I think they're readable. I think it's a nice take on the block letter concept. It certainly modernizes what's a very old logo. So I'm going to put those in B tier at the very least. I think that they deserve a lot more respect. Obviously, other teams have cooler jerseys in their division, but I think that they deserve a lot of respect. That being said, this year they have launched the throwback version of that design, and I think that these are freaking phenomenal. The color scheme, the faded purple, that really stands out. It's gonna be, oh god, I'm so excited to see these on an actual field. I don't know how many games they're wearing these or what games they're wearing these season, but I can't wait to see it. Easy S tier. They really did a good job of bringing it back. It really makes the new color designs pop in their current jerseys, especially with the color rush design, but I can't wait to see these. And the white jersey's just okay, it goes in D tier. The Dallas Cowboys. What a wide variety of designs we have here. I wasn't aware that they had two throwback designs this past year. But we're not starting out with those. We're going to start out with the home and away. The deep blue is pretty good. It's very standard as far as jerseys go. I'm going to put it in D tier. It's nothing special. The only thing interesting about it is the outline, but I'd say that other jerseys do that better. It's so hard with the Cowboys because their logo has changed so very little over the years. There's very little to build distinct eras for the team and distinct eras for their designs. So it kind of all looks like it was created either last year or 50 years ago, and not much has changed between them. That being said, the two throwback designs are obviously from a different era, and I think they did a good job of choosing those over some of their other designs, which are just so freaking similar. Say it with me now, white jersey D tier, but they're throwbacks. I am a big fan of their paneled shoulder. It looks almost like armor. I'm gonna toss those in B tier. I think those look really good. I am very sick, however, of seeing the over-the-shoulder stars. I think that the Cowboys need to come up with some sort of identity other than what they have currently for that, because it's so similar to their regular away jerseys, and I hate seeing the star on top of the star, especially on the helmet. What a mixed bag for the Cowboys. Some of their old designs look good. Some of their new designs look bad. I don't even know what to make of this team. They're without an identity, and I guess that makes sense because they're currently taking running backs on and off their team like it's a crypto market. A team without an identity, I guess, has fitting jerseys. The Seattle Seahawks. What an interesting set of jerseys. Nothing says late 2000s like the Seahawks' current jerseys. I really like their current navy jerseys. I think that they stand out well. I'm willing to put those in B tier. Their current throwback jerseys that they just brought back of their 90s uniforms. Amazing. Absolutely love it. The colors pop just like they should on modern uniforms. Everything stands out really well. I don't feel like it fits in with their other jerseys, but as a throwback, that's completely fine. Some other teams try to make their throwbacks fit in with their current set of uniforms. That works, but I don't think it really has to for the Seahawks. I really like them. Easy A tier. Highlighter jerseys. And finally, the Seahawks have their gray, I think they call them space gray because the space needle. They have their gray uniforms. They're pretty good. They're solid. They serve their purpose. It's nice to see a team have an alternative other than just their regular white. That being said, regular white obviously goes into the D tier, but I'm willing to give the gray easily enough credit to put it in B tier here. I think it deserves that. Oh goody, the Green Bay Packers, huh? The Packers are a mixed bag. They have not changed their jerseys very much whatsoever. And so I think it's really starting to show its age. Obviously, that's kind of the charm, but with a new era in Green Bay, their current uniforms are looking really dated, especially on new younger players that don't wear the old-fashioned loose-fitting styles like Rodgers did. For Jordan Love's sake, I hope that they switch up some of the uniforms. It is iconic though, and I'm willing to recognize that having something not change for so long brings it longevity in and of itself and keeps it relevant just by it being around for so long. So I'm willing to put those in the B tier as a compromise. However, their alternate jerseys, freaking amazing. This should have been their color rush. If you didn't know, their color rush was just their plain white. The Green Bay Packers was given white as their color rush uniform. I'm a big fan of these. A tier. And white goes in D tier. Houston Texans. It's for a team that, quite honestly, hasn't really changed their jerseys since they entered the league, since they're such a new team. I was at least happy to see that they had something other than their home blue and away white. I wasn't a fan of the battle red, but I think with the proper helmet, it can look good. I'm going to put it in D tier. It's nothing special, truthfully. I am going to give props to their current home jerseys. I think that they look spiffy. I think that they're just modern enough to stand out. I will toss those into B tier at the very least. I think they're deserving of that. And the alternates. I like the alternates. I think that they take this color scheme and push it to the absolute limits. The numbers are readable with still some solid accent designs. Like it. I have no problem with it whatsoever. B tier. They can sit alongside each other up there. Now, usually I would just, put the white in C or D tier. I do think that it stands beside the others really, really well. As far as keeping the design scheme going and not just blanking out like maybe the Cowboys did or the Raiders or even the Vikings for that. So for that, you know what? I'm going to put them in the very top of C. Here's a fun one, the Carolina Panthers. So these are actually really hard jerseys to rank because they have both not changed their jerseys very much and changed their jerseys entirely. They changed the main color of their uniform. Nike apparently couldn't make it up until this year. They changed it from what they called Carolina blue to a processed blue color. I actually released a short on that. If you'd like to see it, you can click the little eye thing in the top right-hand corner. So I actually have both of those versions of the jersey. They additionally changed the shoulder strap that's supposed to not arc under the players, but I just watched the Carolina Panthers in preseason and their arm straps striked underneath their jersey. So I'm going to imagine those are two separate jerseys. or different styles of the way players are wearing them. I don't know. Their old color, I think it looks pretty good for its time. I think it definitely stands the test of time. Their old blue, that is. I'm willing to put it in top of C tier. Top of C tier fits it pretty well. However, the new process blue color looks so freaking good on camera. I have no problem. A tier, almost S tier. It stands, it pops so freaking well. I love it. I can't wait to see more of it. Hopefully with the modernized strap design. The black uniforms, I respect it for keeping the pattern going that they had with the other uniforms, but it's so aggressively mid. The block style lettering is just so bland. Obviously they came from their specific era of like the late 90s, early 2000s when they were designed, but the full black, I think I'm going to have to put it in F tier. It looks dated. The numbers are just way too freaking big. I don't like the way it looks on modern jerseys, and the white can join it in F tier too. I think that the dark black numbers with the blue outlines don't stand out well. It looks kind of muddied, especially from a distance. It doesn't read well. Not a fan of it. The Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Arizona Cardinals originally released 3 jersey designs that they're going to wear this year when they had their redesigns done. However, only 2 are for sale and only 2 are marketed on their website on Shop NFL. And I'm really confused about that. I'm glad that they dropped off the black ones. I feel as if it's just another excuse to try to have an all blackout jersey, which I'm so sick of teams trying to do. Stay in your lane, let the big boys handle it. I wasn't a fan of the red Cardinals jerseys, I'm not going to lie. However, watching them in the preseason, they do pop really well on camera, and they look distinct to other jerseys, especially with the white on the back and the silver accenting. I think they look really good, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I was easily ready to toss them in the kill me or the F tier, but I like the way that they look. I'm going to give them A tier. You know what? I think that they've earned that. Now, this white I have no opinions on. It looks different. I like that they're willing to do something different as far as their away whites. Sleeves look a little weird, but tribal and original enough that I'm willing to give it a pass, I think. As far as whites go, it's definitely top of like the white era, so you know what? And a B tier. No problem with that. The New York Packers. They recently just released their throwbacks as well. I think they're throwbacks, maybe they're just their all whites. Either way, they now have 3 jerseys that fit a very specific theme and 1 that doesn't. If they wanted to go through with the all white motif, they should have brought back the Mark Sanchez era jerseys and the helmet. I don't really know if this fits that. It's original and it definitely reads more Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, people are used to seeing him in block letters, and if in white and green, I think that it's at least going to give a few Packers fans a good stroke whenever they have to wear these, but I'm willing to respect that they wanted to do something new, especially as a throwback design. The shoulders also look pretty cool. B tier. However, their current designs, I really like. I respect that they went for something new. They didn't just do the arm stripes, the over the shoulders. I'm a big fan of these. I wish they weren't rolled out during a very bad time in the franchise's history. The black, A tier. The green, A tier. White, it's original. It changes things up. There has to be a white, B tier. New England Patriots. Dear God, these jerseys were off to a rocky start. I kind of feel the exact same way as I did with the New York Jets, as far as they were brought out in a really weird time. Obviously, Mac Jones had a great rookie season, regressed his sophomore year, got benched for Bailey Zappi at some point, in fact. They wanted to move away from the paneled look and wanted to move away from the Brady era. I get that. I don't think that these jerseys were the move. I think that they were original enough that they stand out. I don't think they'll be here long term. I don't think they're going back to the paneled look. I think they're going to give this another shot. I will say that it does still look like the Patriots. And when a lot of teams try to do a complete rebrand as far as their jerseys, it doesn't look like who they previously were. Looks like they're reasonable enough to stay with who they were, and I respect that a lot. I'm going to put them all in the C tier. I think that they're about the same level of bad as one another. I changed my mind. That red is just slightly worse. It goes in T tier. 49ers have the most freaking boring looking jerseys I've ever seen. I know that your colors are gold and red and white. Where is the freaking gold on your jerseys? Dear God, that black that you had with Colin Kaepernick was so much better than what you currently have now. I don't like the white and red. It looks so boring. The only way that I was able to tell whenever I was assembling this chart that it was a 49ers jersey is because it says 49ers on the front. I thought it was originally the freaking Giants jersey. It's bad. However, I am willing to give a pass to their old style block letter outlines. I think that those stand off, they're bright, looking at them on camera and on the handsome man that is Jimmy Garoppolo. The red follows the same fate as the white, but I'm willing to give the two outline jerseys a shot. At least C tier. I think that's it's slightly more original, but dear God, you guys need to find something new. This is not working. Speaking of something new that people say isn't working, the Rams. I love the Rams uniform. I respect that they were willing to do something different. With a move to a city, I love their helmets. I love their uniforms from the very beginning. I was one of the first people on that bandwagon. Look at this Instagram post. Look how old it is. The gradient is so subtle enough, and I love the outline, the vinyl, the flashy vinyl edging on the numbers. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it in A tier. I think that they deserve that. Bone, I respect for doing something a little different. I think that I'll put those in B tier. It was something different, and I respect that. I think it looks really good in SoFi, especially with the lighting. It doesn't look overbearing and boring. I like this white as well. I'm going to put it in B tier just beside the Bone jersey. I think the sleeves are a little wonky. They almost look like they could be a Chargers uniform. I don't quite know what they were going for there. I would have loved to see the all blue sleeves maybe. However, these uniforms do follow a theme, and I respect that, and I respect their individuality. I think that it brings something new to the table at the very least, that I think we're seeing teams start to get a handle on and copy even. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders.
Trademark declined. Not for long.
The Commanders are a dumpster fire. I have no idea what to make of their jerseys. It very much feels like that they had a bunch of designs, and they just, rather than try to pick one and make different variations of it in a specific theme, they just picked a bunch off the whiteboard and decided to go with them. The white is original. I respect that. It doesn't follow a theme. I think it looks more like a freaking hockey jersey than an NFL jersey, but I'm willing to respect its individuality and place it with its brethren in the C tier. Now, the maroon, it looks very similar to what they were before they were the Commanders, when they were the Washington no-names, and then the redacted. I'm willing to respect that they kept that around. It's not exactly as it was, but it's enough to put it in B tier. I think it fits the team. I think if they didn't have that jersey, it would look bad. Hey, look, it's another asshole trying to do a blackout jersey for no reason whatsoever, right next to your brother. The Eagles are a mixed bag for me. Obviously, the Kelly green is amazing. I think it looks really good. I think their modernization of it looks really good. A tier, easy. However, I think their other jerseys are starting to show age. I would like to see some change, especially with the way that they've modernized their branding over the past few years. I think that they're starting to show their age. But they do follow a theme, and they are original as far as the design sense. Even the white. I think that the way that they went about it is just original enough for it to stand out. So I'll put their white just above the other whites in B tier. The black looks good for Philly. I think it's very good as far as following their color scheme. It doesn't seem like a cop-out like the Commanders did. What the hell even is that? And the forest green, B tier. Yeah, no problem putting them all there. But dear God, that Kelly green is so sexy. I'm glad that they don't use it full time. I think it would ruin the charm of it, but it's nice to have it back. Missed you, buddy. The Detroit Lions. I have family in Detroit, and I feel like if I put their jerseys anything below C tier, I might get shot at the next reunion. But I'm willing to go out on a limb and say I can take most of my relatives on in a fight, and I'm willing to put my individuality and personal opinions above what they might hold over me with an iron fist. I think that their jerseys are so good, they're starting to be replicated. I think these jerseys walked so the Cardinals could run. The white's pretty good. It follows the theme. I don't mind it. It has just enough of a different design. I'm willing to put it in C tier. Not the worst of the white. I love the blue and graphite. I wish that they would bring back the blue and white, just at least for a few games. However, these look really good. B tier. Now the all graphite with the white letters, so good. I can't wait to see these with their throwback helmets. We got to go digging back up here, but we got to put these boys in the S tier. It deserves it. Ooh, goody, some mid jerseys to round out the pack. Boom! White goes in F. That sucks. Absolutely no reason why it should be that bland. Looks like the poor Chinese laborer who sewed on the bottom of the sleeves put it at an awkward angle because the foundation of the factory they were in was crumbling so bad they couldn't keep it level. The teal blue looks okay. C tier, quite honestly. I think they need something to do with the letters, especially as they bring in this new era. The black does look good though. I think they kept just enough teal in to make it look good. I would like a little more, especially around the numbers or even around the collar, but I'm willing to recognize that it's good and put that in B tier. The Chicago Bears. Another one of those teams that's clamoring for something new, but really can't grab it. Their white homes look pretty good. They have something new going on with their shoulders, and they at least give their number an outline. It's certainly not escaping C tier, though. I respect the orange. Think the Broncos did it a little better, but I respect the effort. A tier. The blue is iconic. Blue is B tier. When I think of the Chicago Bears, I think of these uniforms. What I don't think of is this throwback that they did. And it's a shame, because I think it looks really good. I think the helmet that they wear with them looks a little bit like bear claws, and I think that's original. I like the double striping on the shoulders and on the sleeves. I think it looks pretty damn good. A tier, Chicago. Miami Dolphins suck. Their green looks good, it just hasn't changed in forever, and it's beginning to show its age. They modernized their logo, but constantly go back to their throwback. There's not that much of a difference either. I honestly couldn't tell if I imported two of the same jerseys with a different number on them when I was creating the ranking of this list. I like their modern branding better. I think it looks better for a football team in the 2020s. So I'm willing to give the blue, it's for its longevity. Makes me think of Dan Marino. I'm willing to give the blue the B tier. And the modern white can sit in C tier, and the throwback white can also sit in C tier. There's so very little difference. It looks like they're just trying to find an excuse to go back to their old logo. If you want to do it, do it. The Bears did it. It looks bad, but whatever. The Indianapolis Colts have such bad jerseys. I know they wanted to do something new, but dear God, I made this short. I'm not even going to plug this short. I'm just going to play it.
There's one thing I need to ask you. What time is it? Pajama time, pajama time. What time is it? Pajama time.
These look like little footy racing pajamas. They're so bad. I worked for a company that printed t-shirts for about 4 years of my life. There's one thing that I learned, and that's that heather means nothing. One of the things that they lord over their fans with these new jerseys is the fact that it's the first heather design in the NFL. Who cares? You know what heather means? Nothing. Get a weird batch of dye and decide to take their scrap t-shirts and throw it in. And that's what they call heather, because it doesn't look exactly like the color it should be, but it's not weird enough that you have to throw it away or turn it into rags. And that's exactly what these jerseys remind me of. Rag footy pajamas. Throwbacks. Bad. Not bad enough as the footy pajamas, but F. Boring. Absolutely bad. And their current home and away looks like the Patriots. It's not that bad, I'll be honest. But it is in fact boring, and that might be the worst sin of all. D tier, D tier. The Bills are a mixed bag too. When I think the Bills, I think of this blue, mostly because of Josh Allen wearing it and some of the best plays he's had. What I don't think of is this red, and I think it's time for a change. I'd be okay with a darker accented red, but I don't think that these stand up to what they used to. It reminds me a lot of the Patriots, and being in the same division, I don't think that's a good thing. I think the Patriots jersey did it a little better, and because of that, I have the Patriots red in D tier, so I have to put these in F tier. The white looks good. The white's saucing. Like the white. White can go in B tier. I think it looks just dynamic enough. It has so much blue on those numbers. It's not an outline on the like a darker color and then just the blue outline. I think the blue letters with the red outline pop. I think it looks pretty good. And the blue jerseys, B tier as well. No problem with those. They scream Bills to me. Oh, hi, Atlanta. Welcome to hell. I was really proud of you when you tried something new with the gradient jersey. I thought that it was pretty cool. I was willing to let them play. I didn't like the way they looked in promo images, but I was willing to let them show out in the field. Obviously, my opinions have been changed by showing a jersey on the field, but dear God, bad. Why would you do this? You could have inverted this and this would have looked so much better. It's bad. F tier. Bad. And your other jerseys, I think, have the worst sin of all. They're so boring, in fact, that I put 2 of your throwbacks in this list, because I thought you genuinely had to have different jerseys. The black is fitting for Atlanta. I don't like the numbers. It reminds me a lot of the Buccaneers' weird alarm clock jerseys. D tier. Like I said, I accidentally put 2 of the freaking throwback jerseys just because they're so similar to the regular black, other than the block numbers. They look like Tampa Bay's jerseys, which we haven't even got to yet, and I think that's a mortal sin. Your current jerseys are so unoriginal that I can't even tell the difference between your throwbacks. The white looks okay though. I'm okay with the white, believe it or not. I can put that in B tier. New York Giants. I don't know why, but because of the longevity of the New York Giants, these jerseys all look pretty freaking cool to me. The gray and the blue makes me think of the catch. OBJ. What a crazy moment. Immortalized in Madden. I love it. It's so simple. It's so good. A tier. No problem. The others aren't so iconic. The white with the red accents makes me think of the 49ers all the time. And so I have to put it with the 49ers jersey in F tier. The rest of these jerseys I have no strong feeling towards, and I feel like that could be the sin in and of itself, so I'm going to put them both in D tier. I don't even remember this jersey. I thought it was the Bills jersey at first. Tennessee Titans. Okay. When the Titans changed their shoulder design to incorporate the sword, I thought that was freaking cool. That being said, the rest of the jersey is so bad. Those numbers are bad. The undersleeve design is bad. The paneling, bad. The dark navy looks really good. I feel like they pull off the navy without making it look like pajamas, especially because of the stuff on the shoulder. I'm willing to give that a pass and toss it to B tier. I think that looks good enough to be in B tier. However, the home whites are really bad, F tier. The sky blue with the dark navy numbers, God, it looks bad. I feel bad. A player like Derrick Henry has to wear these jerseys for the rest of his career, which may or may not be 6 months. He's a running back, who knows? Then they have the Oilers throwback jersey. I don't like that they brought these out of retirement. I feel like they were following the trend of teams having to use a throwback, and I don't like that they dug these out of the closet. I feel like it's just another middle finger to the city that they moved from in Houston. But I'm willing to accept that it's a little better than what they currently have, so I will toss that in C tier. We'll even make a nice little dolphin and oil sandwich. The Saints are such a weird team because their home and away jerseys are so good. They're so clean. They do what they need to do. They're obviously a team that deserves to have the all blackout jersey. And the white just makes me think of New Orleans winning the Super Bowl with Breeze after Katrina. I feel like these jerseys deserve to stand the test of time. What doesn't deserve to stand the test of the time is this ore-colored shit brown, bad color that they put with their throwbacks that they're wearing this year and last year. I don't like it at all. You know what? Cleveland. Welcome to Cleveland. Cleveland! It looks so over-designed. It doesn't have, the white doesn't have space to breathe or even accent. The blacks and the whites, the black can go in A tier. The white looks good enough to put in B tier. I'm willing to accept that there. I don't think that it's quite A tier, but B is fine. And finally, the last team we have, the Tampa Bay Tom Brady retirees. I like their new uniforms. I like their old uniforms, truthfully, and I'm scared to say that. Please don't burn my house down. I think the white with the red looks dynamic. I think it looks really freaking cool. And I'm willing to put it above just about any of the other white jerseys and put it in B tier. I guess barring Cincinnati and Chicago, but it's my list. I can do what I want. Creamsicle jerseys, glad to have those back. B tier can sit next to the white. No problem with that whatsoever. The red looks spiffy too. I think it's just the right amount of style on the numbers. It doesn't quite look like block. I think the colors are dynamic and they pop. I think it's a little better than the ones that are currently in C tier, so I'm willing to put it in B tier. And finally, the pewter jerseys. People really don't like these. And I think that people are really wrong. S tier. They look so freaking good. Seeing them on the field is a joy. And ladies and gentlemen, you have it. My entire ranking of every NFL jersey currently active. And in the link in the description below, you can create your own ranking. I'd love to see those. You can tweet them to me at NickJKovach. True story, I actually recorded this video 2 other times, but teams kept fucking announcing throwback jerseys, and I couldn't get out from under that. So I guess 3rd time's the charm. This was fun though. As hard as it was collecting each of these jerseys, and I'm sure I forgot 1 or 2 again, you can tell me in the comments below. I'm not gonna listen to you, I don't care. Make your own goddamn tier list. Please subscribe, this was a lot of work. Leave a like so the algorithm does think that my channel exists. Bye bye!